Imagine building a program where every task is reusable and effortlessly maintainable. Sounds like a dream, right? That's exactly what methods in Java do. They help you break down your code into smaller reusable pieces, making everything more organized. The more complex your projects get, the harder it will be to manage without methods. Now, if you want to code smarter and avoid dealing with unnecessary problems down the line, learning methods is a must. It is again a very important concept that you will be using daily in your coding journey. Now, before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to never miss any update. So, what are methods in Java? So, in simple terms, methods in Java are reusable blocks of code that allows you to write specific set of instructions once and use them whenever needed, without repeating the same code in multiple places. You can also pass in data to method called parameters, which it can use to perform a task. Now, methods help your code organized and efficient. By putting certain tasks into methods, you can easily reuse the same code in different parts of your program. This makes your code easier to manage and understand. If you need to change something, you just update the method, and that change will work everywhere the method is used. Now, this way, your code has fewer mistakes and is easier to fix or improve. Alright, so this was about the methods in Java. Now, let's have a look at how to declare the method in Java. Alright, so declaring a method in Java is simply telling the program what task the method will perform. Now, how to call it and what kind of information it might return. So its syntax is something like this, as we can see on the screen. First there is a return type, then the name of the method, which is method name, and after there's a parenthesis, and inside the parenthesis we can see in the block of code there's a method body. Alright, now let me explain to you guys what is a return type, what is a method name, and what is a method body basically. So first let's understand return type. So this tells the program what type of result the method will give back after it finishes running. For example, if the method calculates a number, the return type might be int for an integer. If the method doesn't return any value, the return type is void, meaning it just performs an action without giving anything back. I hope you guys understood this. Now, next is method name. So the method name is simply the name you give to your method. It is what you use to call the method when you want to run it. It's up to you. You can name it anything. Now then there is method body. So the method body is actually an block of code inside the method. This is where you define what the method will do step by step. It's like the instructions the method follows when it's called. So you basically write the code inside it. Alright. So this was about declaring a method in Java. Now let's understand calling a method in Java. Now, calling a method in Java is simply telling the program to run specific method that has already been defined. When you call a method, you are asking the program to execute the instructions inside that method. So when you call a method, you use its name followed by the parenthesis. And if the method needs input data, that is parameters, you pass them inside the parenthesis. Now, if the method returns something, it can be stored in a variable or used directly. For example, as we can see, method name. So basically method name is the name of the function over here and we are calling this function. Method call, as we can see on the screen, is being held. So when we write the name of the function with parenthesis, we will call the block of function, the method, actual method. This is how you call it. Now let's understand this with the help of an example. Alright, now coming to method return type. So in Java, the return type of a method is the type of the value the method gives back after it completes its task. When a method finishes its job, it can return a result like a number, text, or any other data type. The return type tells Java what kind of data to expect when the method is done. So as you can see on the screen, there is a return type, method name, method body, and return value. Now, if the return type is not void, then we will use other int and all. So basically the return value, let me tell you about it. So if the method has a return type other than void, you must use the return keyword to send the result back. If the return type is void, you don't need a return statement. Alright, just keep in mind, if the return type of the method is void, you don't need to return a statement. But if the method has a return type other than void, you must use the return type to send the result back. All right. So this was about the method return type. Now let's understand about the method parameters. So method parameters in Java are like the values that a method accepts when it is called. These parameters allow the method to work with data that you provide. Now, a method can have any number of parameters, which means you can pass in as many values as needed for the method to do its job. Now, each parameter acts like a placeholder for the data that the method will use when it's called. For example, if a method is meant to add two numbers, you would pass those two numbers as parameters to the function. All right. So let me explain to you guys with the help of an example. But first, let's see the syntax of it. As we can see on the screen, there's a return type. After that, there's a method name, then type 1, parameter 1, then type 2, parameter 2. So basically, parameter 1 and parameter 2 are the values that is being passed from the calling function, and here we are passing it. So basically, this is the receiver part. It will receive those values, and then we will perform the addition, subtraction, multiplication, whatsoever we want with those two values in the method body. So basically, this is basically the syntax of it, and type 1 and type 2 are the data type of those values that is being passed to this method. Alright, so now here we will be doing an example in which I'll showcase you how to invoke or call a function, and similarly we will understand how to make a function or a method. So method and function is one and the same thing for the guys who don't know about it. So let's start with it. First of all, here what we'll do is we'll basically make a simple example. I'll show you a basic example so that you guys can grab what I'm telling you. So static void main, show status. So basically here we are just creating the name of the function. So static void main, void is used because we are not returning any integer value. So that is why, and show status is the name of the function. And inside here, this will be the method body. For as of now, I have commented it so that you guys can understand. But later we will be writing the method body. First of all, we need to understand how to invoke it. So for that, we will be going to the main function, public static void main, we know. Now inside this function, we will be calling this particular function. As I already told you how to invoke or call a method, it is simple. Just write the name of the function, show status with this bracket, and this is how you call a function. Alright, we can also pass some values that we will cover in the further tutorial of this. But as of now, I'm just telling you, if you want to call a particular function and execute the code inside it, simply you'll have to do like this, the name of the function and this brackets, that's it. Alright, so this is basically calling this particular function. So now whatever the code we will write inside the method body, that particular code will be executed and it is printed. As simple as that. Alright, so let's display something. So here we'll write, because here is show status, so it is asking for the status. So system is up, we'll tell the status, and running. So whatsoever you want to display, we can do that. And this invocation will call this function and this function will execute it. As simple as that. So as you can see on the screen, system is up and running. So here in the main method, we have called the show status function, and inside the show status function, this particular thing we are displaying. System is up and running, so it is displayed. Simple as that. I hope you guys understood what I'm trying to say. So this is basically, you can call or invoke a function. Alright, now let's do another example. So here we will be doing an example in which we'll pass some values to a function, and that particular function will do an operation over those values. Alright, so that particular operation can be addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, anything. It's up to you. So here we'll be doing a simple addition so that you guys can understand what I'm trying to do. So as you can see on the screen, public static class main is there. Now first of all, let's start with the main function this time. After that, we'll create the method or function. Alright, so first of all, we'll be creating the main function. Now inside this main function, we will basically first of all we will call that particular function. So let's say I want to name that particular function as add numbers. So this is the invocation, and if I want to pass the values inside it, for example, I'm passing 55 and 75. All right, so basically I want to add these two numbers or values. All right, so I'll create a function or method for this. So now what I have to do is I have to store this particular thing into a variable. Why? Because then only we will be able to display that, because we want to display the output, right? So for that, system.out.println. Now inside this, first of all we'll write, to make it look good, the sum is, and then the variable name, which is sum. So the result of this will be stored in sum, and then sum is being displayed. That's it. All right. Now how to add it? That particular code we will write it in the method that we will create. So as we know, the name of the function is add numbers. So simply we'll do that static, but this time we'll be using int because integer values are there. So we have to use int instead of void add numbers. Now int is the data type because 55 is an integer, and we'll refer here as x. So basically x and y we will refer here because these values are sent here one by one. So this will act as a container. These variables x and y will act as a container for these two values. It will store these values and then we can do the operations on them. All right. Now inside it, we'll return x plus y. All right. So now what we are doing is we have sent these two values to this particular functions, 55 to x and 75 to y, and then we are simply doing the addition of these two. After addition, we are returning this to this again, and then this thing is being stored at sum. Then what we are doing is we are simply displaying it. I hope you guys understand it. Then let's try to run it. So there's an error as we can see on the screen. We have to use semicolon. Again, let's try to run it. The sum is 130. So 55 plus 75 equals 130. So it is correct. Now again, for those who don't understand what I've just did, so basically this is the main function and this is the method. All right. Let me just comment this thing out. This is the method. This is the function call or method call, and we are passing values 55 and 75 to the method. So here we are calling this particular method and we are also passing 55 and 75, and then we want to add them. So we have written x plus y and then we have returned it. So after doing the addition, it will return the value here, and now the value is being stored in sum. As you can see, the value is being assigned to sum, and then we simply displayed sum. So this is what it is being displayed. As simple as that. You can also do the what we call multiplication. It's up to you. 55 into 75, 4125. You can also do division, anything you want, you can do that. All right. Now let's do another example. So this time we'll do some other example. Now here again, first of all, public static void main function will create first. All right. Now inside this main function, first of all we will call a particular function. So let's say I want to name a particular function as display person info. All right. So display person info. Now inside this, I'll be passing some string values this time. All right. So I'm passing Alice and
this is the city Alice is living in. And yeah, let's keep it this way only. Again, let's just copy it. For example, let's say I want to store 3 values in it. I want to pass 3 values in that particular function, and we'll name it as Sam lives in Texas and Charlie lives in Chicago. Alright, so these 3 are values. These 3 values are the values that we want to pass to this particular function. And alright, static void display info. Now question must be in your mind that why we have used this void. So basically in this particular function we don't want to return anything, we simply want to display that. As you can see, we are not displaying here, we will be displaying in this particular function itself, so we don't have to use the data type. Alright, now the thing is we are passing 2 values, that is Alice New York, Sam Texas, Charlie Chicago. So here also we have to write the parameters to itself, like the name, the data type of the parameter, that is string, and then the what we call the placeholder or the variable name, and then another one would be string and city. Alright, so the first value, which is Alice, will go to the name, and New York will go to the city. Similarly, Sam, Texas, Charlie, Chicago, like that only it will go. Now inside this body where we'll be writing the logic, we'll simply display it. Alright, so what we will be doing here, so first we'll write name and we'll write lives in, because I want to write it like Alice lives in New York, Sam lives in Texas, like that. Then city. So what we are doing is, first of all, name will be displayed, that is Alice, then this is the thing that we want to display, lives in, then the name of the city. Alright, now let's try to run this. Alright, so we did something wrong. Yeah, now let's try to run it. So as you can see, Alice lives in, so we must specify some space also. So let's do this. I hope this time it is clear. Yes, so as you can see, Alice lives in New York, Sam lives in Texas, Charlie lives in Chicago. So first these 2 values are being passed, Alice and New York, and we are simply displaying this. So here comes the Alice lives in, then comes the New York. Then in the second call we are passing Sam and Texas. So the second time Sam lives in Texas will be printed. And in the third calling, Charlie and Chicago is passed. So similarly those 2 values are being printed. So as you can see, all these 3 values are being printed like this. I hope you guys understand how to declare a function and how to do the function call. This is pretty much the basic of it, and you have to do some more examples on it, but start slow and do many examples, as many examples as you can, then only you'll be able to grasp the things. Doing a topic theoretically is a different thing, but if you'll not do any examples or questions on that, it will be waste. You have to do some practical examples, then only you'll get to know, then only your brain muscle will develop how to tackle these kind of problems. And pretty much this was the very basic thing that I just told you. Now I want you to implement all these things and practice at least 10 to 20 questions, not in a single day but over a span of a time. Alright, so these are the 2 examples. I hope you guys understand it.
Also, if you want to become a cloud professional and advance your career in one of the fastest growing fields, the Professional Certificate Program in Cloud Computing and DevOps is for you. This online program is designed for working professionals, providing practical skills and knowledge needed for cloud and DevOps roles. You can opt for additional AWS or Azure exam preparation for an extra fee. Whether you're starting fresh or leveling up, this program will help you take your career to the next level in cloud computing and DevOps. So don't wait, click the course link in the description to learn more. Alright, so now let's have a look at some of the advantages of methods in Java. Alright, so let's start with the first one, which is code reusability. Now you can write a method once and use it multiple times. This reduces the need to repeat the code. Second advantage is better organization. Methods help to break your program into smaller manageable parts. Each method can handle a specific task, making the code easier to understand. Then there is easier maintenance. If you need to change something in your program, you only need to update the relevant method. This makes fixing errors or adding new features simpler. Then there is improved readability. By giving methods clear and meaningful names, your program becomes easier to read and understand for others or for yourself later. Alright, now next advantage is avoiding redundancy. Now instead of writing the same logic multiple times, you can call the same method whenever needed. This reduces the duplication and makes the program cleaner. Alright, then there is modularity. Methods make your program modular, meaning you can focus on one part at a time without affecting the rest of the code. Now, ease of teasing. Since methods handle specific tasks, you can test each method separately to make sure it works correctly. And at last, we have encapsulation. Methods can keep certain parts of your code private, allowing you to control how other parts of the program access or modify the data. So these were the advantages of methods in Java. Now to sum up, methods in Java are like small blocks of code that helps you organize and reuse your work. They let you break your program into smaller parts, making it easier to understand and manage. We learned how to declare methods, call them, and work with return types and parameters. These are important basics that every Java programmer should know to create neat and effective programs. Now, from here, your work starts. The internet is filled with many practice questions. Pick this topic and start practicing methods in Java, and you will see how useful they are in making your coding journey smoother and more fun. Also, if you have any doubt, feel free to write in the comment section below. That's it for today's video. So keep learning and make sure to like this video and subscribe if it helps you.